ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम्। शन्नो मित्रः वरुणः शन्नो भवत्पर्यः शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि अन्मानमवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः यशेमदेवहितैर्यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यम् अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। तच्छयोर्णीमहे दातु यज्ञाय दातु यज्ञपतये दैवे स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्ति मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जगातु भेषजं तन्नो अस्तु त्रिपदे चतुष्पदे। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। तत्सत्। To begin with, Ramakrishna Mission Centenary College. Now I would request our revered Principal Maharaj, Swami Kamalasthanandaji Maharaj, Principal, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Lahore, to bring away the welcome address.
Hello.
Yes.
এই এই দাও, আমি শুনতে পাচ্ছ? হ্যাঁ। So, most respected Professor Ramesh Chandra Sinha, Chairman, Indian Council of Philosophical Research, and most respected Professor Uday Shankar Roy, Professor, Department of Sports Science and Yoga, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational and Research Institute, Kolkata, most distinguished teachers, faculty members, researchers, and my dear students. Today, we are going to inaugurate the 2 days international webinar for commemorating the International Yoga Day 2020. It is sponsored by Indian Council of Philosophical Research, New Delhi. We are happy to have Professor Ramesh Chandra Sinha amidst us, who has kindly agreed to inaugurate the webinar and deliver his valuable talk. We also have with us Professor Uday Shankar Roy, Professor, Department of Sports Science and Yoga, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational and Research Institute, Belur Mount. Both are very great persons. On behalf of our college, I express our heartiest regard, gratitude to them for joining this 2 days international webinar. So due to the so many this mechanical program and also this electronic problem, we could not start their due time. So we are big apology to everyone. So actually this yoga, it is our Indian tradition, and it was more than 5,000 years old, and it actually combines physical, mental, and spiritual pursuit to achieve harmony of the body, mind, and spirit. On 11th December 2014, United Nations General Assembly declared June 21st as the International Day of Yoga. From that onwards, 21st June is observed all over the world in a befitting manner. Each year, it has a particular theme. This year, the theme of this International Year of International Yoga Day is the yoga at home and yoga with family. In Hindi, it is called Ghar Ghar Mein Yog. It is really pertinent that all are isolated from the active world due to pandemic. So yoga practice is essential for overall development of the physical, mental, and spiritual development of human beings. It is a time for us so that we can put great effort on the overall development of the immunity system of ourselves. Overall immunity comes through harmonious development of the physical, mental, and spiritual growth of human beings. Yoga gives a practical ready-made package to us, which is rigorously experimented thousands of years together. Patanjali, the great exponent of yoga, develops the Yoga Sutras, which in English called theory or formulas, what you can tell. Through this formula, he expressed the practicality of yoga and how it helps human being to fulfill the basic demands on the earth. It is very first sutra expressed like this: Yoga Karmasu Kausalam. Its English rendering is like this: Yoga helps us to restrain the mental modifications. He could not tell to stop the mental modification, but told that control the mental modification. In our mind stuff, every time, so many thought waves are coming. Some we want, some we do not want. Most of the cases, what we do not want mostly occupy the whole mind stuff. So our desired thought wave loses its existence in the chaos of all other so many thought waves. We want to do this, but ultimately what we have done, which is not desired by us. This is the real problem and real misery of human being. We cannot think what we want. Again, we cannot work what we want. Here, Yoga tells, yes, please come, all of us. If one gets fulfillment and joy in this earth, one should restrain the thought current without getting controlling power of the thought current. Main four purpose in this earth is ultimately completely in vain. What are the four purpose? Every human beings in this earth, in whatever position in the globe, everyone has four purpose. First one is called dharma. Dharma, it is Sanskrit word. It is not the present day religion. Religion, this English term, it was invented more later when this dharma term was invented in India. So this dharma in English, it has no particular one word. But we can, in English rendering, we can tell that rightful duties of human beings. So every human being has some duties, but it should be rightful. So it is called dharma. Next one called artha. If we want to fulfill the rightful duties, so we have to get means, but it is not ordinary means. It should be rightful means. So without rightful means, we could not fulfill the rightful duties. We cannot do all the obligations of society, family, and others, nation. So this means, that is rightful means, artha is very important. Then comes kamo. Kamo means actually in English called rightful desire. If we want to fulfill the rightful duties, we have to be rightful desire. Otherwise, we could not fulfill the rightful duties. So this rightful desire, that is kamo, is very, very essential. If we complete all this, if first this rightful duties, then rightful means, with rightful desire, ultimately we can fulfill the rightful duties what we cherished previously. And after that comes the ultimate things called moksha, that is liberation. Liberation means we can, liberation gives us the satisfaction, peace. That is, we have completed this, our assigned rightful duties, and so we get the complacence, we get the peace, we get the satisfaction. So every small work to hire anything, this dharma, artha, kama, moksha, rightful duties, rightful this means, rightful desire, and ultimately rightful liberation. So these are the very important things. If now again I am asking everybody, if we do not restrain our mind, how can we fulfill these four basic things? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, rightful duties, rightful means, rightful desire, and rightful liberation. So ultimately we are in suffering. So if we want to get rid of suffering, then we have to stick upon this yoga, so that we can complete our rightful duties through rightful means, through rightful desire, ultimate our cherished rightful liberation. So with these few words, I do not extend my talks too much in this today's in this seminar. Our learned actually resource person, they will enlighten us in several aspects of the yoga. With these few words, I extend once again my heartiest regard on behalf of this college, on behalf of all faculty and students. All are in the home, and so many places they are observing. So once again, on behalf of all, I extend my heartiest regard to Professor Ramesh Chandra Sinha ji, Professor Uday Shankar Roy ji, on behalf of this college, and welcome all participants in this webinar. Thank you, all of you.
In this session, we have the inaugural talk to be delivered by Professor Ramesh Chandra Sinha, Chairman, Indian Council of Philosophical Research, New Delhi. He will be speaking on the topic. Despite Professor Sinha, a brief introduction about Sir Ramesh Chandra Sinha. He is chairman of Indian Council of Philosophy at New Delhi, the former professor and head of the philosophy faculty, a senior fellow of Council of Philosophical New Delhi. Presently, the editor-in-chief of research published by ICPR, Darshanik Premas, published by Darshan Pariksha, Darshanam, Inspiring Journal, published by ICPR. Been instrumental in publication works and philosophy. Published
आवाज नहीं आ रही।
universal acceptance.
कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हाँ, यही कि कोई आदमी को आउट
सर आपका साउंड नहीं आ रहा है।
সপ্তশিখা বোঝাতো
मम्मी को हमारा ही टर्न। हेलो 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 स्वामी जी।
हमारा साउंड आ रहा है हमारा।
हाँ स्वामी जी, am I audible?
यस सर, ऑडिबल।
So should I begin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can start. Yes, sir.
Okay. मेरा प्रणाम स्वीकार करें स्वामी जी।
नमस्ते।
My-
नमस्ते। नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते, मेरा प्रणाम सभी को, जितने भी प्रतिभागीगण हैं, जो भी प्राचार्य महोदय को, प्रोफेसर एनसी पंडा, उदय शंकर राय, डॉक्टर उदय शंकर राय, डॉक्टर जगन्नाथ पाटिल, एंड रेवरेंड स्वामी जी, स्वामी कमलासानंद जी, the pracharya, the principal, and other reverend Swamiji. First of all, I must spell out my deep association with Ramakrishna Mission Ashram. I do live at present. I am locked down in Patna. And earlier also, I was living in Patna. So uh, since I joined Patna University, I am associated. I joined in Patna University in 1970. And perchance, I was living very, very close to Ramakrishna Ashram situated in Patna in Nala Road. So I had a great proximity. And every evening, I used to go, and still, whenever I whenever I get time, I do visit in the evening the ashram, the mission. I've got long association with the ashram and the Swamiji, Swami Sukhanandji, and Swami Secretary Maharaj of Muzaffarpur, Swami Mithleshji, Bhavatmanandji. So I know in Delhi also, I heartily welcome anybody coming from Ramakrishna Ashram, and I do long to visit the Ramakrishna Ashram of Delhi, and hope next time I will be visiting. With these words, I come to the theme, because there was some technical problem which I can understand. So now I hope this problem might have been resolved. And am I audible, Swamiji? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Oh, okay. I should continue then.
Yes, yes.
The theme which you have stipulated and you have introduced while welcoming, the theme is very much pertinent and relevant, since we are observing International Yoga Day, 6th International Yoga Day. So this yoga philosophy is a great contribution to this world. Actually, we have got, in Indian philosophy, we have got two trends. One is the orthodox and the other is the heterodox. So yoga philosophy is very prominent in our orthodox systems of philosophy. In heterodox, we have got Charvak, Buddhism and Jainism. But in orthodox system, we have got very prominent 6 systems: Sankhya Yoga, Nyaya Vaisesik, Purva Mimamsa, Uttar Mimamsa, or Vedanta philosophy. And naturally, Swami Vivekananda, a great exponent of yoga philosophy, a great exponent of Vedantic thought. Actually, in the philosophy, the foundation of philosophical foundation of ashram, as I understand, is based on Vedantic philosophy. So naturally, this yoga forms, yoga philosophy is very important because the whole world, when the whole entire world is going under a strife and the entire world is under crisis. So the whole world is shut within the four walls. So this yoga philosophy is a great panacea to this global pandemic situation. We don't have any medicine, but yoga is yoga philosophy can have a very lasting effect. And since it is a methodology, it is a technique to purify the entire body. So we should come to the definition, or we can concentrate on Yoga, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So the second sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutra defines yoga chitta vritti nirodha. So the chit is flickering. It is very azil, and it disturbs the entire. It is wandering. So Maharishi Patanjali prescribed Ashtanga Yoga to control our chitta. So if we control our chitta, the immunity will improve. So in this pandemic situation, we have to protect ourselves, and in order to protect, we have to practice yoga. Moreover, our Prime Minister has done a marvelous job to get it recognized in the entire world. It has become philosophy, yoga philosophy has become universal. That is the theme you have given. So this yoga, sometimes back, I was in USA, in the Pittsburgh, and there I found one center, namely Yoga Flow Center. And small children, ladies, gents, they all attended that center. Though it was, I also had been to attend that Yoga Flow Center. The trainers, they are very, very much, very good trainers. And the yoga is so popular that now I come to the that The meaning of yoga is to unite soul with God, unite man with God. On the other hand, the pragmatic meaning of yoga is to control the senses and make man stable, because uh, mind is very flickering, and if mind is very agile and flickering, then the whole system of the body and mind, both they are disturbed. And most of the psychosomatic diseases are due to the imbalance. So, in order to uh, establish a balance, we need yoga, and naturally, this psychosomatic diseases can be very much controlled through yoga methodology. I call it a methodology. Methodology uh, uh, to attain the godhood, and methodology to purify the body and the entire system. So that's why uh, I understand yoga in two ways. The one is the metaphysical, the other is the pragmatic. So this way, if we see the present scenario, the whole world is disturbed, not only due to the coronavirus, but there are certain other causes. For example, uh, the whole psyche has been disturbed. The entire, we see the border disputes all over India, and we find a racial confrontation and riots in America, the most developed country like America. It faces racial a kind of riot. So due to the racial discrimination, uh, the King Martin Luther dreamt that white and the black can live together. But his dream has been completely shattered when we find that they're, they're hungry to kill each other. So racial discrimination and the border disputes, the uh, man is afraid of man. So in this situation, the mental stability and the physical stability, this in order to uh, just create peace, peace within and peace without. Only external peace cannot do. So we need internal peace too. And in order to establish, in order to obtain external as well as internal peace, the only methodology, the only technology is yoga technology. So since the world is nowadays, this world is a global world. The world has assumed the universal shape. So, and the entire world is controlled by technology. So this the age in which we live it is not the modern age of machine. It is the postmodern age of technology. In uh, this 21st century and the present age is controlled, guided by technology. So naturally, if the technology overpowers man, then there will be all kinds of disturbances. Man will lose uh, his essence. Man will lose his manness. Then the technology, if the technology controls the entire humanity, uh, we can imagine the fate of a man when he becomes cog within the wheel. So uh, naturally, Indian thinkers, because Indian philosophy is mainly established, or Rishi and Rishis, they have propounded Indian philosophy. It is not the classroom teachers or the professors. So Ved, Upanishad, or any orthodox or heterodox systems of Indian philosophy, even the most the materialistic philosophy, Chava philosophy, that has also been propounded by a Rishi, Acharya Brahaspati. So India has been the land of rishis. Uh, who serve for others. So naturally, if we want to save the humanity, so yoga can be used as super technology. But after all, technology aims to man is the center. So technology attempts to help man and create such comfortable situation for human existence. But if it overpowers human existence, then it is not very much appreciated. So if the technology uh, creates value, it enriches human existence, then it is valuable. Otherwise, technology can be rated as disvalue. And so naturally, we want a super technology, and the yoga, the methodology of yoga, the technology of yoga can give a greater happiness, greater bliss. This is just a sort of uh, outline. Uh, the second point to which I will like to concentrate, that uh, this pandemic situation is not going to is not going to be over in very short span. We have to live with this. So uh, now if it can be lessened, it cannot be eradicated as the experts say. So naturally, we have to live in a new normal world. And naturally, being a student of philosophy, this new normal world is very much current in newspapers, and so many people, they use that we have to live in the new normal world. But being a student of philosophy, I have developed the concept of new normal. There is a difference between uh, uh, having a concept of new normal and having current terminology of the new normal spoken by the layman or by newspapers. So my attempt is that what will be the new normal concept, and how we relate yoga to this new normal society which we are going to just after this pandemic situation, we will enter into a new normal society. So I contemplate three components. One is the survival, the other is the social distancing, and the third is compassion. So survival is the most important component of the new normal society. So man has to survive. Man has to live. If man lives, then only he can ring the bell of the temple. He can, और हिंदी में हमने एक जगह कहा कि मंदिर जब मैं जिंदा रहूंगा, मनुष्य जिंदा रहेगा, तो मंदिरों में घंटियां बजेंगी, चर्च में इबादत होंगे और मस्जिद में अजान दिए जाएंगे. So many component of the new normal society, because coronavirus has affected our normal existence. So I should be brief. The second component is the social distancing, and the social distancing includes physical distancing, but it has got a wider and comprehensive meaning. So social distancing means we should not assemble in large number. We should restrict ourselves from going to mass party, or even in the temple in large number. So that is a widening of social distancing, and physical distancing is included within the meaning of social distancing. But the greatest component, which is concerned with the day-to-day life during this corona virus, this compassion. Compassion, though it has been used by Lord Buddha, compassion has got two components, two elements. One is empathy and the other is sympathy. Empathy is a feeling into, and sympathy is feeling towards others. So feeling towards others, I mention it because a large number of laborers coming from other states, large number of people are hungry, and if we don't have compassion, compassion does not mean that you just oblige someone, but it is our moral obligation to help the downtrodden, to come forward for the subaltern. I call it Simant. Simant is a technical term used by, especially for developing subaltern morality. I use this terminology. So Simant includes laborers, but it is not equivalent to the Karl Marx contention or terminology of proletariat. It also includes women. It also includes those persons who are economically well off but socially marginalized. So naturally, compassion towards others. Others means here those who are besides the circle, those who are below the average poverty line. So naturally, but who will serve others? Can a selfish man, can a man who has not control over his senses, can a man whose mind is a flickering one, can a egoist man serve others? Not at all. So for that, it requires yoga becomes very much relevant if you are purified, if you have some elevated mind, then only you can serve others. So here I must mention a book written by Adiguru Sankaracharya, and it has been published from I got it from the Ramakrishna stall of the Ramakrishna Ashrama Patna. The book entitled is Atma Bodh. If you have got Atma Bodh, if you are an enlightened man, if you have got control over your senses and mind, then only you can serve the downtrodden people. Because serving to others is not a very easy job. And if you serve to others, just you distribute something without having feeling, without having compassion. So that type of, that is not a service. The compassion is needed to develop your, you have to develop yourself. You have to become spiritual. And Vivekananda very rightly says that service to others, he has highlighted that man, the person who serves others, he lives a better life, a religious life, a spiritual life. So serving to others, that has been highlighted by Vivekananda. So I was talking about yoga. So naturally, Raja Yoga is a very important one, and Raja Yoga means probing, going deep into within to control the inner senses, and mind a very disturbing one. So you have to go beyond your intellect and beyond reasoning and have that some spiritual vision. And naturally, mind cannot fathom the depth of the reality. It requires some higher vision. And yoga can prepare a man to have that higher vision. Yoga, it has assumed the universal appeal to the entire world. And naturally, through yoga, I don't have much time, but Sri Aurobindo contemplated that that a day will come when the Superman, the Gnostic being, a divine being will emerge. So that day will come when you control your body, control your mind, and attain spiritual vision. So with these words, I hope I must thank the Ramakrishna Vivekananda College, Calcutta. I must thank Swamiji who invited me, and I am eager to listen others, and I must thank all the participants and all those who are attending this webinar. Thank you very much, Swamiji. मेरा प्रणाम स्वीकार करें. जी. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Professor Ramesh Chandra Sinha, presently Chairman, Indian Council of Philosophical Research, New Delhi. We learned from him from various dimensions of yoga philosophy and its universal acceptance. Sir has told about different aspects, starting from the yoga philosophy of Patanjali to Vivekananda's philosophy of service. So we have seen that how peace within and peace without are equally valid, equally very much required, and how selflessness requires lots of training. Atma Bodha is required, as Sir has told. So we are very grateful to Sir for his enlightening speech and for giving us an all-comprehensive view about yoga philosophy and its universal acceptance. Meanwhile, sir, one of our students wanted to know a little bit about what is racial discrimination and how does yoga play an important role in this regard. I would request Saptarshi to kindly again switch over to Professor Ramesh Chandra Sinha, sir, for the question. So one of our students wants to know how racial discrimination can be eradicated using yoga philosophy, how yoga is useful in this regard.
Okay. Thank you very much. But I must know the name.
The name of the student who was given.
Because he has raised a very, very good question, very relevant one. So
Niladri
anyway,
Sarkar. Niladri Sarkar is the name of the student who has asked about the.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarkar. So naturally, racial discrimination, society discriminates. And the discrimination in any shade or any shape is not acceptable to anyone who is adherent of Vedantic philosophy. Or naturally, the mission, Ramakrishna mission ashram, or the devotees of the Ramakrishna cannot accept any sort of discrimination. I must mention here a book that this book has also, I got it from the Ramakrishna ashram of Patna. That is on, that has been written by Swami, I do not remember the name, but that is on Manisha Panchakam.
Yes,
Manisha
Swami
Panchakam originally
Ranganathanandaji
Tamas, Swami Ranganathan.
Yes.
That Manisha Panchakam, so that is
Shankaracharya's.
of Shankaracharya, and Swamiji has dealt on the problem of untouchability. So I remember that the book, very a small book, thin book, but it is very enlightening, and I love that book. Actually, this racial discrimination and this caste discrimination or any kind of discrimination is not very much acceptable by Vedantic adherents of Vedanta, or the incident I can narrate in brief, that Shankaracharya, after taking bath in Ganges of Varanasi, so he started from Dasaswamet Ghat to have to offer worship Lord Shiva. So in the way, he found that sweeper is sweeping the road. So I think that Shankaracharya was a realized soul. He might not have said that bhago bhago. His disciples might have said. But the Chandal raised a question. To whom you are saying that get away, whether this body or whether this soul. If the soul is one, so why there should be any sort of discrimination? And actually Shankaracharya realized that. So this is in brief, I say, keeping in mind the Shankaracharya's Advaita Vedantic philosophy and the book written by Swami Ranganathananji. Racial discrimination is also a kind of discrimination, but a different kind. Though it is a discrimination on the basis of the Varna, and that discrimination is on the basis of the color. So the implication, the understanding, the discrimination is there, which we cannot appreciate from the point of Vedanta. So that's why I said that this world, in this world, the richest, the affluent country like America is torn, is afflicted by this discrimination, racial discrimination, and the yoga, how the yoga can be relevant. Suppose if man is purified internally as well as externally, and yoga is a technology which alone can purify man, and yoga, if man goes through this purification, mental peace, and yeah, then he cannot practice this racial discrimination or this any sort of violence, because in Maharishi Patanjali speaks very clearly that yam has got 5 components: satya, ahimsa, brahmacharya, aparigraha, asteya. So non-violence is one of the component. And Martin Luther was exponent, rather follower of Mahatma Gandhi, and he championed the cause of non-violence, and he dreamed that racial discrimination, he dreamed that white and black will live together in peaceful atmosphere, but somehow other the present incident which occurred in America, that gives impression that the dream of the great King Martin Luther has been rather shattered, naturally in the yoga which can purify human being, purify human society, purify body and mind, and that control mind, that alone can serve that alone can serve to establish peace in the world, because war begins in mind. So discrimination also begins in mind. So if the mind is elevated and you are a spiritual being, then you will not practice discrimination. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful answer. So till now, we have been hearing from Professor Ramesh Chandra Sinha, Chairman, Indian Council of Philosophical Research, New Delhi. On behalf of the college, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to sir for his wonderful, deep analysis on today's topic, yoga philosophy and its universal acceptance, and for his multidimensional approach to the topic. Now we come to our second talk of today's session. The talk will be delivered by Dr. Uday Shankar Roy, Professor, Department of Sports Science and Yoga, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational and Research Institute, Kolkata. Dr. Ray will be speaking on yoga for holistic health and wellness. Before we go into Dr. Ray's speech, a brief introduction about Dr. Ray. Dr. Uday Shankar Ray was born in 1949. He did his graduation, master's, and PhD in physiology from the University of Calcutta. He was conferred DSc by Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan Samsthan, a deemed University of Bangalore, for his contributions in the form of physiological research in the field of yoga. Dr. Ray was senior scientist and additional director at Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences, DRDO, Ministry of Defense, Delhi. He also served as program director of the Center for Advanced Research and Training in Yoga, a joint venture of MDNIY, Ayush, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and DIPAS. He was guest faculty in Ambedkar Center for Biomedical Research, New Delhi. Now he is a full-time professor of yoga at Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational and Research Institute, Belur Math, Howrah, and teaching in master's course in yoga and also serving as supervisor of MPhil and PhD students, both in yoga and sports science. He was also guest faculty of West Bengal State University in postgraduate department. He was also member of the Board of Studies in Physiology in the department in University of Burdwan, West Bengal. Now he is a member of the Board of Studies in the Department of Yoga, Art and Science, Vishwa Bharati University, Shantiniketan, Bolpur. Dr. Ray was member of the Project Evaluation Committee, Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy, Department of Ayush, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. He is also a reviewer of scientific papers of the national and international journals like Indian Journal of Medical Research, Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise, ACSM, Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine USA, Yoga Mimamsa, Kaivalya Dhama, Lonavela, International Yoga Journal, Evidence-Based Complementary Medicine, Journal of Sports and Nutrition. During his long 40 years of research career, he worked in exercise physiology, neurophysiology, high altitude, cold yoga, and ergonomics. He participated extensively in field trials at high altitude, the Arctic at North Pole, and also occupationally hazardous conditions. He had hands-on experience in exercise physiology at Harbor UCLA Medical Center, USA on exercise testing and interpretation. A very rare combination of experience in different fields enriched his research related to yoga and its applications, particularly in performance improvement by yoga in environmentally stressful conditions. It also helped in the formulation of yoga packages for the Army at high altitude, for Navy and Air Force. Some of them were well accepted by users. He was the principal investigator of a number of projects of Ministry of Defense and CCRYN New Delhi. He was invited speaker in many national and international conferences and symposium. Dr. Ray has more than 90 research publications, which includes papers in national and international peer-reviewed journals, chapters and articles in books, reports, etc. In recent years, he and his team published 15 papers in reputed international journals. In recognition to his contributions, he got several awards like S.R. Moitra Oration Award by the Physiological Society of India, Scientist of the Year Award, National Technology Day, and National Science Day Award by DRDO, Ministry of Defense, Government of India. So we can all understand about his wonderful depth in the subject, and we would request Dr. Uday Shankar Ray, Professor, Department of Sports Science and Yoga, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational and Research Institute, Belur Math, to deliver his talk on yoga for holistic health and wellness. Dr. Uday Shankar Ray. Sir, kindly you can start your talk, sir.
I started sharing.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to come to.
Presentation. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I think it is not visual side. Some block is there. That small screen is giving this one.
So
Hello.
you can minimize it, sir.
Minimize.
Sir, you can minimize it.
Above minimize button is there. Yes. Right.
Okay.
Is it all right, sir?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, my greetings to you all. Though it has yesterday, it has happened on this auspicious national pride. It is auspicious occasion of the International Yoga Day. This is really, we are proud of it, and already Professor Ramesh Chandra has told the same thing, and I'll be telling my duty if I don't express my gratitude. Principal of the college, Swami Kamalasthanandaji, and other revered Swamis and faculties and students for the who are participating, who are listening to this talk, and Professor Ramesh Chandra. I have chosen this topic, yoga, wellness, and holistic health, because of the reason that it is, after all, whatever we do, whatever in life we do, we work for wellness only. And if we are well, everything will be well. And that is the thing. And yoga has another component that is holistic one. And very upper side, you'll be seeing the two, this thing, International Yoga Day. One side it is there. Now it has come to lie in this age. And already Samiji has given that Ramakrishna Mission's this insignia. It gives the all yogas, the four yogas, it is represented by that one. So next one, I'll be giving little background of already Professor Ramesh Chandra has given so much very gist, the yoga about his philosophy and all these applications post COVID periods, 21st century. So I won't go detail on all these things. I'll just touch upon this thing. The revolution of yoga, yoga has evolved in Indian subcontinent, and it is just for 2,500 years BC. This Tantra, this came the Vedas, then Upanishads, this late Vedic period, it took definable shape. Then Vedanta, ultimately the essence of Vedas. And actually, people say that Vedanta is science, and yoga is technology. And these are the types of yoga, the Jnana Yoga, what Swamiji actually coined the term Raja Yoga. But this one, this main theme, on these four yogas, everything runs. This Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Swamiji beautiful tales on that particular combining these four yogas. The every soul is famous quote. The every soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external or internal. Do this by work, is karma, karma yoga, worship, bhakti yoga, and psychic control, that is Raja Yoga, or by philosophy, that is by Gyan Yoga. By one or more or all of these, and be free. So one can, any combination it can be given, only one or all of them, or partially. In different degrees, one can practice according to his choice, and or what the yogis tell Adhara. This particular thing I have given visual representation, what already both previous speakers has told, that this very see, mind is rippled mind is there. You can't see this properly. What is your aim? That one you can't achieve properly. And when it is some reflection is clear, there is rippled water is not there, you will be very, the reflection will be proper, so you can see it is like mirror. You can see this Paramatma, or what is a yogi's tale like that, or whatever it be, your goal, your purpose, very, your thoughts will be, if it is more clear, your attainment to that goal, it will be better. So this is the Annamaya. This is a beautiful. It has been given beautifully. It is in Taittiriya Upanishad. This I am bringing because of Panchakosha concept. This is the Panchakosha concept of Taittiriya Upanishad. In this one, it tells that there are five Cs, five levels. One is Annamaya Kosha, what physical body we are seeing. Then Pranamaya Kosha, vital seed. It has got all the energy is there, all energy is there, and we physiology will tell it every physiological function, all this dynamism, everything is going on due to this pranamaya kosha, vital seed. Then monomaya kosha, it has the span is big. Today you think, here you can immediately, your thought process will go to London, or even in moon. Some sort of like that. It's so powerful, this mind. So this mind, again, previous speakers has given emphasis, and yoga is emphasized on that one for stability. Then Vijnana Kosha, this wisdom of seed, that is the gan in the, that of course that is very much required, and once your mind is stable, your gan will be better. And Anandamaya Kosh, in front of Swamiji's and all the premises of there, in the premises of Ramakrishna Mission, I need not explain that one, and I don't have right to speak on that one. That is the rarest of rare kind, people attend, and all these great yogis they attend. Then ultimately it is possible by these Raja Yogas, that is the dominant potential energies, the Kundalini Jagran and all they tell, so on and so forth. Then I'll come into Patanjali Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. It has got 8 limbs. That is, one is key is will. And actually, this I told that it is in the Raja Yoga, this king that is of yoga. It has been coined by Swami Vivekananda himself. This external one, it's Yoma, Niyama, Asana. So day-to-day life, for day-to-day life, it is very much required. Yoma means self-restraint, Niyama, self-observance, certain discipline is required, and asanas, certain physical exercises, all are interrelated. Pranayama, breathing maneuvers, and all yoga has very yogic systems have given beautiful, very in Indian this system has given contribution. That is one some sort of great contribution like pranayama, which gives, this is invented. So they didn't our rishis, they didn't they experienced, they thought, they themselves practice, and they came to this one. Now in modern science, in the angle of modern science, we are analyzing it. I'll be giving in subsequent slides those things. Then pratyahara, of course, dissociation of consciousness from outside environment, then your consciousness will be better. Then internally dharana, there's concentration, then ultimately it goes meditation and samadhi. So these are all, they all are interrelated with one another. One step you go, then further step it will be helpful for one to attain next step. Then now come to day-to-day life for common people. We the common people. What is wellness? Actually, World Health Organization given a beautiful quote, this thing, it has defined it, a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being, and not merely the absence. I am not giving here spiritual. One can add in that one, but it is, I have given, this is in different context, it is being told ordinary people, but whenever it is spiritual, definitely it is there, and not mere the absence of disease or infirmity. That is the wellness. Only one should not think in that angle that I don't have any disease or any infirmity, so I am well. It is not like that. You have to live life like a it is all facets, with all its ingredients, or with all its flavor. A conscious, then another word, this thing there, it has been quoted that a conscious, self-directed and evolving process of achieving full potential. The National Wellness Institute has given that one. Then this is the holistic approach of to wellness. You just match with the Taittiriya Upanishads, these great concepts, Panchakosha. Then you'll understand how it is getting. Now we in our life we can interrelate with one another. This is the one is of course this is the physical, this is the physical one, this is the emotional one, this is the spiritual. It is there, then intellectual, then all these yogas it is coming, then social and occupational, because even if you in different society where you are there, the norms will be different. According to you have to adjust, and you have to do, your goal you have to attain. So this is some sort of like that. And if you have to work these very wonderful technology by yoga, it has given, if one follows, then one can do all these things, and they can be successful in occupational life, both in social life. Then a previous speaker has told that stress means this day-to-day stress. Even in house itself, I live alone this pandemic situation. Otherwise, we are having pandemic has given a new dimension to it. So the stress, it has got these two things, that one is psyche and another is environmental stress. Environmental stress, I have worked myself how yoga wonderfully works there. And psychic, their psyche definitely it is there, both control the stress, and dimensions are positive and negative. You require, students are also there. So I'm telling, if you want to do a perfection, you require positive, that is called, we tell you stress. You require some kind of stress, optimal arousal is required for the betterment of your performance. Yoga takes care of that one. Yoga doesn't make you passive. See, when we are working in the army, I was very dear to you, initially these generals, now you see all these border areas, even those this war period, they do practice, because they have to keep the fitness and their mental stability. So what they do, yoga gives optimal arousal. It doesn't give to other side with hyper arousal, it is not there, but it teaches you how to become and how to react in particular situations. The beautiful mechanisms are there. These are scientifically proved. Then another is negative aspect, the exaggerated arousal, whether in sports or whether in an army or in a day-to-day life, your performance deteriorates, and another side, your health also deteriorates. Stress is the main, actually the reason which brings out so many lifestyle related diseases. Not only that, those due to those lifestyle, they call comorbidity now during this pandemic. Coronavirus, actually these bad effects are there more in case of other diseases. If you have diabetes, you have hypertension, all those diseases, it precipitates you those by this the bad effects of this virus. Then stresses, this genetic perception, how we perceive the stress. Yoga teaches us how to do that one. It may be genetic. Genetically, my perceptions about on the stresses may be different, man to man. But by learning, by practice, one can make it they can control it. The stress perception, it depends on, and yoga teaches how to perceive the stress. And these are the physiological, your heart rate will go up, blood pressure will go up, respiratory rate, oxygen consumption, EMG, this excitation, muscle activity will increase, GSR, sweating will be there, and all these things are there. These are neurohormonal mechanisms. It is in higher level, it goes up. Then psychologically, in the limbic brain, what it does, limbic brain means emotional one, and other things. Limbic means your anger, your other things, your basic emotions, it gets accelerated. So in that one, concentration deteriorates, negative emotion is there, cohesive thinking you lose, then sleep is disturbed, and hunger is also reduced, anorexia is there, then well-being, general well-being is disturbed. So the overall the stress response is there, and yoga in all these phases, it controls that one beautifully. It contains, I'll be showing that one. So approach to the preventive stress management is that the modify the stressor. Therefore, this is the basic psychology. They tell you modify the stressor, change your perception or belief about the stressor, change your reaction to the stressor, practice stress inoculation behaviors. So modify the stressor, it is not possible. It is, we have to, like this pandemic, as Ramesh Chandraji was telling, we have to live with that one. We have to accept that. Or we can't modify this stressor. Environmental, you put AC and all these things, fan and all the technology you can use. Here, your technology is failing, you are saying. Then other side, change your perception or belief about the stressor. There we have got hand. Yoga comes in a big way in this one. Then practice stress inoculation behaviors. This also yoga can teach us how to do that one. Change your reaction to stressor. These 3 points, actually yoga has got big role to do. Then this is the physiological effects of yoga. This autonomic nervous system. This is the system, one nervous system. There are two components. One is central nervous system. Another is autonomic nervous system, where we don't have control. Automatically, your heart rate, you don't have control. You mentally you are upset, or you are exercising. Your heart rate goes up, and your blood pressure goes up. Your respiratory rate goes up. Your galvanic skin response increases here. Actually there are decreases in excitation, and blood catecholamine level actually increases, and alpha index of EEG, that is, it brings about, EEG brings out in that particular alpha range the calm and quietness of the brain. So this indicates, and yoga, whatever here in yoga practice, by 3 to 6 months, it reduces all these hyper excited the responses, physiological responses of hyperexcitation, all are reduced. You see, and this alpha index of EEG increases. That is, mental tranquility increases. Then result is that your orthostatic tolerance. Suppose you be seeing when you are excited, or you are already you're hyperactive and all, sometimes standing, or you are in a low ebb, in that physiologically what you were in, suppose long prolonged bed rest you are having, then also you can't stand up properly. Then you are hyper excited, that time also it doesn't happen. So blood pressure fluctuates a lot. So those things is actually brings to a comfortable level. Then cold pressure response, we have worked in giving cold, directly cold to the hand. We have seen this pressure response also, it reduces. This and that, I think now I don't have much time, because up to 5 o'clock I came to understand I have to speak. So in this one I'll just I on individual all these parameters I won't tell. In this one, you see, this is the biochemical parameters: glucose, cholesterol, protein, all these things, all parameters. In a sense, it tells what it tells. It tells yoga brings about in metabolically in anabolic side rather than catabolic side. Catabolism is destruction, it is the degradation, and anabolism is construction. The yoga goes for that one. In essence, is that one. So this is the one. This is the actually this slide. This slide actually gives the aerobic capacity and perceived exertion after yoga training. What we are seeing, the you should know this maximal oxygen consumption, that is called, we told in our terminology, we tell the maximal oxygen consumption is the oxygen consumption of a person at sea level. Whatever it is, he can take oxygen, his total capacity. See, somebody's total capacity is suppose 80 ml per kg body weight. Then if he is working in the mechanical work where oxygen consumption is required 40 ml, that means he is in for 50% of his maximal oxygen consumption. So he will be having, whereas somebody having 70 ml, in that case, he will be having better 70 ml he is consuming, then also he is in a better position. But the fellow who is having 90 ml, in that case, first fellow, rather than the latter fellow, first fellow is in a better position to do any work. It is in this situation we see that after 6 months yoga training, yoga physical performance, that of maximal ability to consume oxygen increases by yogic practices. And this particular thing is lot of challenges came when I was working, and now a scientific world has slowly started accepting it. And you know why it is happening? Because we are having great contribution like pranayama and all, and what actually respiratory apparatus, actually no other system of exercise this kind of thing is there. The yoga they are having actually respiratory system and is oxygen transport system, it improves, and due to that it happens, and it is there. So combination of different type of yoga and this regular other exercises, one is in a better position to do mix increase VO2 max. So not only that, it rate of perceived exertion, perception or exertion is reduces. I need not explain that it is useful right from the porters to the householder. It is useful right from the people who are working in the desktop people, those who are the white collar people, to the blue collar people. For every body it is required. It is giving some problem. So this is the EMG voltage, electromyography. There also we have seen yoga gives endurance. Yoga gives tolerance. Physiologically, physical toy endurance it increases. See, pulling a spring, we have scientifically have seen that in that one, we have seen that pulling, the endurance of pulling a spring, particular mechanical force, it is tension, if it is there, or it is build up, one has ability is significantly improves. Whereas his recruitment of muscle fibers also all may be same as I this before training and after training this. This is the PT group, those who have been other exercises, and this is the yoga group. Then muscle strength increases. Yoga is basically asanas are isometric type of exercises. So muscle strength increases. It looks so innocent, but it does happen. Yoga improves the stress tolerance. We see when not there are in high altitude, both mental and physical tolerance is required, and this one has to be really rugged. So in this one, what is two groups were there. This is a very famous journal, this Lancet and European Respiratory Journal. These publications are there. What they are seeing, the yoga practitioners and Everest who were summiters without supplemental oxygen, they are having almost similar type of parameter level, the respiratory parameter level and the chemoreceptor sensitivity. Chemoreceptor is the receptor which drives for greater respiration and other related things. So in this one, both are having similar type of sensitivity. It reduces, it balances both the way, so that one need not do hyperventilation at peak, so that his energy is dissipated very quickly. So this is the beautiful mechanism it is there. So this high altitude natives and these both coming here, not later on they worked on the high altitude natives also. That is they are also in their case same thing is happens. So yoga improves that endurance, not only in endurance, high altitudes, physical stress. This is a cold tolerance also it improves. 10 degree we had put it subjects, the people in 10 degrees Celsius, 2 hours they are inside that one. We have seen their better the PT group as compared to PT group. Those who do yoga exercises, they are having better oral temperature. Oral temperature fall was less. Their core temperature they could maintain in a better way. So This also shows great finding that cold tolerance it improves. So this is the thermographic picture on core. I just in pranayama when somebody is doing. You see, this is the orange one, or this color. It is the lower temperature. But next time you see when pranayama is doing, this increases. Blood process is there, and this is it increases. Legs are also it is happening. Feet same thing. Then this entire thing, I don't have time to speak so much. Though in this one, a message of this slide is that this is the oxygen consumption in every different in a total yoga session. Oxygen consumption was taken in different asanas and all. Then in that one, what I see, then it is the blood pressure, cardiovascular response. Ultimately, our finding is that effect of jogging and yoga practices on cardiovascular system are same. Jogging, you are doing 50% of your VO2 max when you jog. You are not doing exhausted exercise, but and yoga, it is so innocent. It is not exhaustive at all. It oxygen consumption also low. So in that case, they are having also better cardiovascular system in that condition. This is the meditation. We have got this lot of this work is there. So I need not go for that one meditation. I will be speaking if time is there. Otherwise, I won't. The psychological effects of yoga by yogic practice, learning ability increases for students. It is very good. Concentration improves. Anxiety and depression reduces. Vigilance levels improves, and mental well-being. What I was telling, mental well-being improves. Next slide, I'll show. We had some people, one group, control group, those who are not doing yoga, and those who are doing, these are all PT exercises they are doing, and this group, they are doing yoga only. In this one, what I see, this mental, psychological questionnaire is a standard instrument. It is. In that one, we see this significant improvement in the yoga group in mental well-being. And the control group, as these they are in the same people, they same barracks. So what he did, they should not get demotivated. So we started giving them yoga here, and again we see control group also improves their mental well-being. Okay, so this is like this. This has this written control group, but from here we have given them yogic practices. This mental well-being, it is related to a greater extent subjective well-being. It related to plasma hormone is called melatonin. When nighttime we get sleepiness, that is due to melatonin. And this melatonin level, it increases by practicing meditation. Those good meditative practitioners, this melatonin level increases. And you see, this is the group, this yoga group, those meditation practicing in the night time, how much it increases. Control group has also increased. This is the control green one and white one. This increased, but thing is that not this much night time. So these have this melatonin again in turn in downstream, so many other hormones it triggers, and other neurotransmitters also it has got effects, so that it gives better mental effects. Now coming back to the again yoga in the management of lifestyle related diseases. What are the diseases nowadays? Now we know, so far we physiologists and we these yoga scientists used to working on mostly all the lifestyle related diseases. Big challenges have come when this COVID-19 situation has come. Now one way, a lot of neuropsychophysiology and in immunology, it is there in exercise itself. In exercise, usually we have seen those who does physical exercise, sports and all, their immunity increases. This is very objective, it is there. But yoga, people were little confused. Later part, somewhat, it is not that the much of Scientific work has been done on the essential hypertension, coronary artery disease, diabetes, schizophrenia, epilepsy, irritable bowel syndrome, post PTS, very important, I'll tell later on, skeletal muscular disease and asthma. That much work is not there in this one. But whatever good studies are there, it has been shown yoga has got also potentiality to increase that one, because yoga, the central factor, it has got better control over our higher center. And yeah, main thing is that our autonomic control is better, sympathetic hyperactivity is better, and excitation level reduces, so that naturally other neurohormones are also regulated way secrets, and that way the disease doesn't precipitate. And the stress level also it reduces, indirectly it affects that one. And so that we get the better immune system become better. So this is the one slide what I could get from my colleague work in the same lab. He is working in that one. We see in that one this is a coronary artery disease. Actually, after the yoga practice, what is the 89.9% this block? It was there, and it has got clear. So this is again another fMRI study, functional MRI study. In that one, we are doing Brahmakumari Raja Yoga meditation. We in our in DRDO some lab nuclear medicine, Institute of Nuclear Medicine. We in fMRI study we see then that one during meditation. This is the see change prefrontal area. This actually this area brain area actually lot of changes happens in meditation, and it helps. What is the this being called the executive brain? Whatever we action it is, whatever we judgment it is, ultimately whatever is there, the decision is being taken from that part. There are changes. So this is the one. I'll just give the brief. Whatever this year we didn't have the scope, but this is the some other years we did. We used to go to villages during the International Yoga Day. These school children, yoga for everybody. We are speaking yoga for from house every ages. So these kind of students we are teaching. Then this is the again little higher age people, then in the schools, then in the slums area, Ganges, some area, they came outside, we gave this. Yoga has gone, Vivekananda is tell we have to go to the downtrodden. So we went there and yoga has gone there also. So this is the thing, other places, and this is the one place, those they are actually addicted to different types of drugs and all. In some those places we went there under treatment. In their cases, we started giving yoga, and we just this yoga day we used 3 months. After yoga day during day we went finally, but they are doing for 3 months. This is for different categories of students. This they are some are very primary school, the schools to government school, and some are in the very other schools, those who are well-to-do people, those who are having money and all those. For them, we are also tried. And these are for the blind people we have to try it. And this is the one. So undisturbed calmness and mind is attained by cultivating friendliness toward the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and indifference toward the wicked. Patanjali Yoga Sutra tells that one. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. So we are really indebted to Dr. Uday Shankar Roy of Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational and Research Institute, Belur Math. So wonderful analysis, scientific analysis of the effectiveness of yoga. He has spoken on various issues like optimal arousal, on how preventive stress management can be done, how various physiological effects of yoga can be testified with modern scientific methods, and autonomic nervous response by yogic practice, and various other issues he has spoken on. And we are really very much enriched by his talk with a wonderful analysis. Sir, only few questions are there. Though many aspects of those you have already answered. There's a question from Sandeep Pramanik. He asks how yoga helps to treat hypertension. Sir,
Yeah.
Dr. Udashankar Roy, sir.
Yeah. See, yoga, you see, hypertension, it is the main thing is that your same autonomic nervous system, sympathetic system, if it is higher, the stone is more, in that case, your blood, the blood vessels diameter, this arterial diameter, it becomes narrower. So more it is narrower, so more pressure will be there on the wall, arterial wall. This is the one reason. Another is there, if it actually mind that the more of from the school age, very primary age, primary stage itself, nowadays it is happening, this fatty layer starts depositing. If it is not taken care of, people don't do games, exercises, and all, even if yoga, they don't do. What is happening now? People have forgotten about games. Children have forgotten about games. They are seeing TV and all other games and all. So what is happening? It starts as it is continuously deposits, narrows this arterial surface, and in that one inner surface, arterial inner surface, so more pressure is there. It arterial wall it becomes steeper. If it is more steeper, in that case, your steep tube, suppose you press a house. See, you have seen that in garden some hose pipes. More you press over that one, then you let more speed will be there, more pressure is there. It is some sort of like that. If it is elasticity losses, if it is though no elasticity, arterial elasticity is lost by deposition, by other means, or hyper excitation due to sympathetic hyperactivity, in that case blood pressure goes up. And blood pressure has got two types. One is essential hypertension, that is normal, you see those who are doing the aging people, they have. Or another is called secondary hypertension. That may be some other kind of disease. You need not think about that one. Yoga doesn't do in there anything. More our majority population gets affected by this essential hypertension. And yoga tries beautifully controls that one by this mechanism of controlling the sympathetic nervous system, and by controlling the release of these neurohormones.
So thank you very much, sir. Sir, one more question is there from Swarnali Ghosh. She asks that how stress can be a genetic matter, or how is stress transmitted genetically? So one more question regarding the genetic issue of stress.
Okay. I'll give you one beautiful example of that one. I was telling you at high altitude, I have worked in that one, so I have got very telltale evidences on all that. See, high altitude natives, generations together, they are living at high altitude. Okay, this is 14,000, 15,000, like Tibetan plateau and all, Sherpas. See, these people, then when they go to high altitude, they tolerate altitude better way because their chemoreceptor sensitivity is more blunted. I will say blunted, it is in lower level. Immediately, suppose its carbon dioxide level has increased slightly. Oh, immediately it don't give hyperventilation and all. Why? Because of one has to go to more higher altitude. You should have more reserve. So if you get exhausted, too much respiratory muscles, if you get stressed, they get exhausted, it fell there. This is the one. Same thing. So you see how by environment, by staying at high altitude generations together, genetic adaptation has taken place. Okay, it has by generations, it has by that genetics has changed. Actually, this receptor sensitivity to the different hormones, it has increased, it has reduced. Okay, see, this is the one genetically. But other side, those people who are doing yoga, simple kumbhaka and other pranayama, by blunting artificially, by increasing CO2, if you are breathe holding, you are doing that for a certain time, then slowly you're adapting your chemoreceptors not to react so fast. Same mechanisms here by training it is being done. This is the one example. Then if see so on and so forth, you will be seeing Ganga Sagar Mela. Okay, Ganga Sagar Mela, so many Naga sadhus are coming and they are tolerating cold like anything. When we are wearing our sweaters and all these things, so they go like that. How? They are not great big yogis and all attainment and all these things. I won't challenge those things. But thing is that physical certain attainments they could get due to their practices. One side their practices, certain hatha yogas, and sometimes simply by exposing their body by adaptation. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one more question is there from Sukriti Maiti. He asks that what are the stress inoculation behaviors? What are the stress inoculation behaviors?
Stress inoculation behavior, actually in army now we are having, low intensity conflict we are having there. Suppose this war is there, immediately excitation is there, you are fighting and all okay. But yes, together, if you are our soldiers are there, always somewhere, some corner, somebody will come and attack. This low intensity conflict, continuously this is going on. That anxiety is there. When they'll be thinking always in the fear of losing life or limbs, in that case that is one thing, that's why I one kind of stress. Okay, see in that situation they has to be indoctrinated. No, you are having so many things, we are giving you so much facilities, you are having under guard, we are having so many these things. So if you do this, is we are giving yoga. See, it is easy to steal yoga there, but when somebody is losing life, we can't explain so many yogas to them, common people. But it is happening. It is happening. In army now convinced they are practicing. So this is yoga has been taken a strategy for stress inoculation. We inoculation what? We give, suppose virus will be coming. We give somebody will get affected. We give, what is you give? Vaccine you give. That is inoculation. It is some sort of like that. You give mental vaccine. You are some sort of, I won't tell it is brainwash, it is in a positive sense, but they should be convinced. They should be convinced that yes, stress it comes if you do such and such things. Psychologists have their other strategies also to make their build up their mental strength to increase, as their psychological counseling people do. Psychologists do psychological counseling. Those who are actually depressed people, they are also helped by that counseling. It is some sort of like that. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, one more question has come from Sumit Sarkar. He asks that how can I overcome migraine problem? How can I overcome migraine problem? That is his question through yoga.
First of all, I'll tell you, because I am a scientist working in the field, so immediately I won't jump and tell you some advice. You go just yoga, this yoga. I won't tell like that. What I'll tell, yoga has got this, is pranayama and all these things. It has got this way, but you have to do in a proper guidance. You have to do. You have to take guidance. First, with good yoga trainer, you go. He will give you. You do this, do this, do this. Then only you do. Whether you are having migraine or we are having blood pressure, how you are knowing you are having? Some doctor has told you. Did some doctor told you are having migraine? How you know that you are having migraine? You don't have high blood pressure. So this has to be determined first. Then you go for. And now in COVID situation, you can go to all doctor. So if it is required, if you get somebody, you try to check your blood pressure and you do simple yoga. You do shavasana. I won't tell you, you do shavasana and simple anulom vilom pranayama. You don't do other this thing, complicated asana, complicated pranayama, gumbak, and all these things. Sometimes you do negative things also if you can't practice properly. Or you are in the mission that side, or maybe some people may be teaching you those things. And now yoga practitioners, yoga trainers are there every corner of the city.
Yes, sir. So thank you, sir. Sir, one more question. How does yoga help to treat diabetic problem? So Sandeep Pramanik, he asks, how does yoga help to treat diabetic problem?
How, see, diabetes has two types. One is NIDDM, non-insulin dependent diabetes. Okay, the type 1, type 2, and another is type 1. Type 1 is due to, like blood pressure I was telling, the secondary hypertension, some other disease. Actually, there is some problem is there. They have, really in that one, the hormone is liberating it directly, or some damage is there due to that, or some particularly other places, brain somewhere something has happened due to that. I am not telling that one, those kind of diabetes. I am telling other simple type 2 diabetes, like we suppose those who are having after approaching certain ages, middle age and all, you receiving slowly sugar, those, and it happens most of the cases, those inactive people. Little aged people by genetically they develop, but thing is that most of the cases, though even those having diabetes genetically, they also get delayed effects if they practice certain, and I am not telling yoga only, if any regular physical exercise, regular you go for walk and all these things, it reduces. It is reduces. It's like medicine, it works. Plus, in addition to that, if you do yoga, yoga is basically, it is a relaxing. Yoga, basically, it is relaxing. Sympathetic hyperactivity reduces. Sympathetic hyperactivity or stress, it actually increases the sugar, that particular hormone, that epinephrine, actually it increases blood sugar level. Okay, so more you are excited, your sugar level will increase. So if you are relaxed and we do really morning regular exercise, you need not do very high intensity exercise, simple jog, simple walk according to age. If you do, you will be getting, and yoga if you do properly every day, then definitely you are going to get. I am not going to definite. What I tell, these are the strategies, these are the resources, these are the weapons of yoga. It has happened, and that's why yoga we should imbibe in our lifestyle. Not only big thoughts, we have to do that also. We think we something got, it is not like that. It is not like that. You get up in the early, you get up on the bed, you do certain meditation, you do some this thing, all these exercises, it has got effect. It has got effect. And from the younger stage, if you more do your, I was telling your all this diabetes, hypertension, all these lifestyle related diseases, that's why you bracketed like that, all will be less. And if you are in genetically you are prone, then it will be much delayed.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one more question has come from Shri Mitra. He asked that how does yoga help to prevent the risk of coronary artery diseases? How does yoga help to prevent the risk of coronary artery diseases?
Very interesting question. See, this is I will be telling why, this is very the very idea of yoga therapy. People is not to believe what yoga I'll do. Everything yoga I'll do. Now they tell, and now people are telling the cancer also it is being it might be cured by yoga. HIV in our institute, somebody that is a hardcore science institute, some group was started doing working on HIV. HIV, how it will now see it is HIV, this type of strain only, this coronavirus. So these I am telling almost 20 years back, they did HIV, that time it was there. What they say is the simple strategy of that calmness of mind, it will trigger, it will help indirectly tone down your sympathetic hyperactivity, and that way it will help the immune system. If not 100%, at least 40%, 30% relief you won't get. Not only that, one get mental peace also. That is the first. Okay, so this is the thing. But thing is that what your question again? I just sorry, I'm just lost while speaking.
Sir, he asks that how does yoga help to prevent the risk of coronary artery disease?
Coronary artery disease. I was showing the slide. What happens? In that relevantly, this is the lifestyle related disease. It is non-communicable disease. It settles, I was telling, blood pressure. Similar way, blood pressure, like your arterial inside artery deposition of fat and cholesterol is there, a deposition that actually thickens the blood vessels. So elasticity goes and all, and that if it is too much, in that case, what happens? It settles in your coronary artery also. So that blockage is there. Okay, you get one day, fine morning, you'll be seeing some person is having pain and coronary, that angina and all. Nature will warn you by crying of heart and all. People ignores that one, and then ultimately he lands up into coronary infection and heart attack. So what I was telling, what this is the work is there one. This in Lancet journal it published. I am not now. It is almost 20 years back. Now it is 20 years back. So it was published two journals: Vegetarianism, Yoga, and how the coronary reversal of coronary artery disease. They are in huge 400, 500 people they took, and that Lancet is a very famous journal. You know, medical. All the medical people you ask, this Lancet means it is very Bible type. So they will accept that, and previously they are not accept. Repeated, they had to do another experiment, another publication, then people are accept this thing. Now, what it does, again, what I was telling, yoga, meditation, what it does, and this vegetarianism, proper diet. Yoga includes all these things, proper diets and all these things. All these things, what is happening? It relaxes your artery. Slowly, slowly, your good HDL cholesterol, you know, cholesterol, two types of cholesterol, LDL cholesterol and HDL cholesterol, high density lipoprotein. So high density lipoprotein, it increases. That is a good cholesterol. It increases. It actually, that real layer and low density lipoprotein, those cholesterol, it carries away. It takes it. Actually, this gets slowly artery, that inside artery is clear. It is like plumbing. Yeah, plumbers, what? Yeah, just like that. All this kaja, those are deposited and this had been cleaned. It is some sort of light. It is some sort of light. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, a few more questions are there. I'll club all of them together and tell you. Sir, sir, one question is by Pradipta Samadar. His question is how yoga maintains our nervous system. How we will be stress free. This is his question. And one more question from him is how to really get relief from back pain by yoga. Which asana will be perfect for it? So one is nervous system related, stress-free nervous system. Another is asana for back pain. And one more question is from Debargha Saha. He asks that is there any remedy for asthma in yoga therapy? So stress-free nervous system, asana for back pain, and yoga therapy for asthma. These are the three issues which has been raised lately.
Okay. See, yoga, when you are doing yoga meditation, see, National Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience, NIMHANS it is being called, in Bangalore. They are working, a big group is there. They are working on yoga and its yogic intervention in the different brain disorders. Okay, because if you give drugs and all, if you give some blockers, all these blockers, you may get relief, but those are having a side effect. These are having side effects. So in that one, some probably you will be seeing some people, aged people, they are having, what is that? They are having dementia type. Slowly Alzheimer they develop. So these cases, people they are using the drugs and all these things. Sometimes I heard the psychiatric people, very famous man, is speaking some cases. Personally, he told me, getting old, it becomes getting old, and more we are aged, so it becomes a curse of life for this type of people. So drugs, if it is there, it does certain things, but those having limitation. More your brain cells are drying, brain cells are affecting, that's why, and more some plex types of things deposits, then your memory fails, your neural coordination fails, and all these things. This is the one. This is the fundamental things of the mental, this thing, brain, what is happening. Now, what yoga does in meditation, meditation actually BDNF, brain-derived neural factors, it is being called, those liberates, and this helps to regenerate the brain cells, neural connections and all. One is called, good old days, it is to be told that brain cells, death, brain cell death, once it happens, it is not that other cells, it doesn't regenerate. But now concept is that it regenerates brain cells. That means some cells, which is very important, you got affected. So by other means, it can be regenerated. What is the other means? By they tell meditation has got the resource, those who are meditating, lot of papers have got, scientific paper, that by meditation it has been these brain cells, it develops in a better way, neural connections become better, so those who are losing, those who can be recovering in a better way. Okay, this is called neuroplasticity. So neuroplasticity, it's stimulated by yoga lifestyle and meditation. Okay, so this is, yoga is the only non-pharmacological intervention by which mental diseases can be controlled. This is the one thing. Then you are telling, somebody is asking that about again that your spinal cord, there also same story is there, but most of the cases backache and all this pain, spinal pain, it happens low back pain or cervical pain and all these things. So they are the yoga asana physiotherapists, always they use this one yoga postures to reduce that one. What kind of spinal pain you are telling, I don't know. First of all, one has to proper doctor, one has to consult. Then they will tell, yes, whether by doing this kind of things it can be practiced. Yes, some cases they tell, I'm telling, if you have low back pain, somebody gives the salavasana. You are having other pains, they give spinal, they give bhujangasana. Beautiful it works. But before doing these things, one should consult orthopedics. You should have proper mainstream medicines advice. Just like that, one should not start anything. And you go through a proper yoga instructor, yoga practitioner, yoga teacher. Okay, this is the thing.
Yes, sir. Sir, one more question was there regarding asthma. How
asthma. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Asthma. See, British Medical Journal. Bangalore is a city. There, asthma cases are more. Okay, asthma has got two ingredients. They are also lead to, it happens due to asthma. Then you are having the sinusitis and all these things. It happens due to those places more. And those hot, humid places also it becomes more. And whole year some optimum cold is there and all like that. So there, some studies there in British Medical Journal, it has been published, and Dr. Nagaratna, which is BMJ publication, this is good, very good publication. They did in that one. In there, they showed that by practicing pranayama and this yoga, certain things, breathing exercises, slowly, they could control the asthmatic attacks. It has been scientific studies are there. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, for answering so many questions from our viewers. Sir, on behalf of the college, we are really thankful to you, grateful to Dr. Uday Shankar Roy, Professor, Department of Sports Science and Yoga, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational and Research Institute, Belur Math. So we are really indebted to you for you sharing your wisdom with us for giving us a wonderful scientific explanation on the effectiveness of yoga, effectivity of yoga and its physiological effects. So we are really very grateful to you, sir, for giving us a wonderful comprehensive view of yoga in terms of physiology, in terms of medicine, in terms of all sorts of psychosomatic diseases. So on behalf of the college, I thank both the speakers of today's session, Professor Ramesh Chandra Sinha, Chairman, Indian Council of Philosophical Research, New Delhi, and Professor Uday Shankar Rai, Professor, Department of Sports Science and Yoga, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational and Research Institute, Velur Math. So with this, we come to the end of today's session, and we express our gratitude to ICPR for sponsoring the seminar on International Yoga Day, on this international webinar. We would like to inform our viewers that tomorrow again we'll meet at 3 p.m. Today, due to some technical errors, we couldn't start at time at 3 p.m., but tomorrow we'll start exactly at 3 p.m. Tomorrow we have two talks, speeches, one to be given by Professor N.C. Panda, Professor of Sanskrit, ICCR Chair, visiting Professor Silpakorn University, Bangkok, Thailand. He'll be speaking on yoga philosophy and its influence in Southeast Asia. And the next talk will be given by Dr. Jagannath Patil, Specially Appointed Professor, Research, NIADQE, Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports and Technology, MEXT, Tokyo, Japan. He'll be speaking on mainstreaming of yoga higher education through accreditation around the world. So we have two more renowned speakers tomorrow, and we are really thankful to both the speakers who, amidst their busy schedule, could share their wisdom and could spare us some time for enlightening all our viewers. From all over India, we have viewers registered for this seminar, starting from right from South India, from Madurai to from Rajasthan, then from Guwahati, West Bengal, and various other places in North India. So we are really thankful to the enthusiastic participants who could manage to attend this webinar, international webinar sponsored by ICPR New Delhi and organized by Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Rahara, Kolkata. With this, we end today's session, the session for the first day, and we will again begin the second day's proceedings tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you very much. Thank you all those who have arranged this webinar, and thank you to both. We express our deep gratitude to both our speakers, and we pray to the Almighty for giving us that yogic wisdom so that we can encounter all sorts of challenges in our life and lead a healthy life, both from inside and outside. Thank you very much. Namaskars.
So thank you all of you. Thank you all of you. So yeah.